Welcome, everybody. I'll give everyone a few moments to settle in. Feel free to connect to audio, grab a drink, get comfortable. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Feel free, if you are ready to go, I invite you to take this time to give yourself a little bit of an introduction in the chat. Go ahead and introduce yourself. I'd love to know your name, what school you're attending, where you're coming from, and your interests. If you have any interests in particular, your potential career goals, or any hobbies that you might have. Feel free to type that in the chat. And we'll go ahead and get started in a few moments and let everybody continue to join in. Awesome. Thank you for those who are introducing yourselves in the chat. I invite everybody to go ahead and give themselves a brief introduction in the chat as we wait for the rest of our individuals to join in before we get started today. Wonderful. Well, we will go ahead and get started. Thank you to everybody who introduced yourselves in the chat. If you haven't yet done so and you would like to, I invite you to do so. I will go ahead and get started. Welcome, everybody. My name is Nina Bustamante Bernstein, and I am the founder and CEO of Pre-Health Shadowing, as well as a partner with VolunteerCrowd. We're really sorry that VolunteerCrowd could not join us today, but we've got lots of information to share after telling you about the various opportunities to volunteer and shadow with Pre-Health Shadowing. There are two QR codes on the screen above. The QR code on the left brings you to the Pre-Health Shadowing website, and the QR code on the right will bring you to the VolunteerCrowd website. Pre-health shadowing, I will talk more about it soon, but essentially will offer shadowing and volunteering experiences for students in a 100% remote platform. We've partnered with VolunteerCrowd, which will then help you track and verify those hours, where you will be able to then put them towards any application, resume, or any additional profiles that you are looking to create for your professional career. So to get the most out of today, I recommend you keep up with any of the links that are put into the chat. There are wonderful opportunities that will be discussed. And so in order to take advantage of those, it is imperative that you conduct your own research and find what will be best fit for you. There's going to be lots of different opportunities presented that are open to anybody who is interested. And so really being able to find where you fit in and where you will be the most successful and happy will serve you the best in your academic and professional career. We will be having a Q&A portion at the end of today's session. So if you do have any questions, I welcome you to utilize the Q&A function through Zoom today, and we will be able to answer those questions at the end. Additionally, NSHSS will be sharing links for VolunteerCrowd in the chat, and you will be able to get answers to the most popular projects through this. So feel free to click on any of those links as they get put in. I'm going to take a moment now to talk about pre-health shadowing. Pre-health shadowing offers volunteering and shadowing opportunities, as well as tutoring, mentoring, research, high school immersion, and community college preparation programs for pre-health students and the next generation of healthcare professionals. That being said, pre-health shadowing is open to anyone of any interest and is not limited only to pre-health professionals. So what is pre-health shadowing? Pre-health shadowing is a student-based nonprofit organization created in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. As some of you may know, when students are interested in applying to medical programs, nursing programs, PA programs, etc., oftentimes they will need to present with experience prior to applying to those programs. Experience in the form of volunteer work, shadowing, clinical work, and more. And so during the ongoing pandemic, it has been increasingly difficult to secure these opportunities. Pre-health shadowing is a 100% remote platform whose goal is to create flexible and accessible learning opportunities for students around the world. Students are able to create their own schedule and are able to commit as many or as few hours as their schedule allows. There are so many different projects that I'm eager to discuss with you. And the real reason that pre-health shadowing was started was the fact that we are living in a global pandemic right now. This is the time that we need the focus of developing the next generation of healthcare professionals during this time. And so we are not only looking to increase the number of individuals looking to go into the healthcare field, but also to diversify the healthcare field and to allow for more inclusive access and more equitable opportunities for individuals. To date, pre-health shadowing has impacted over 40,000 students worldwide. We also have over 3,000 volunteers joining us and helping develop the organization to further impact and further promote our mission. Here is a little look into some of the opportunities that we have within pre-health shadowing. I do want to add this disclaimer, these are not all of the opportunities, these are just a handful. And so I definitely encourage you to check out the pre-health shadowing website to see any current, ongoing, or future projects that you may be interested in being involved with. Pre-health shadowing, as I mentioned, is not just for pre-health students. We are open to any student that is interested in any topic. We have opportunities in fundraising, diversity planning and outreach, as well as creative design, video production, social media marketing. If you're interested in computer science, we have opportunities to help develop and manage websites and pages within the pre-health shadowing community. We have opportunities to write and edit blogs and to create additional content, potentially a zine or a magazine, or even a research or medical journal within the organization. Everything that you see here is a student initiative. And as it is a student initiative, we welcome new ideas and new initiatives proposed by members of our community. So if you are interested in starting a new project and being the founder of an initiative within the organization, we encourage you to sign up for pre-health shadowing and to get started on that. There are so many different projects, and so I'm really excited to open this opportunity up to you. I saw that in the chat when folks were introducing themselves, we had individuals interested in business, interested in coding, individuals that are interested in production. And so if you guys are willing to pick up new skills or to volunteer your time in something that you are looking to pursue as a career, This is a wonderful thing to get on your resume to prove that you are committed to your future. So, what are the steps to get started? First, you're going to want to go to the VolunteerCrowd website to sign up. This is in the chat. For a quick link, you can go ahead and click on it. Next, you're going to click on the big I want to volunteer button, and you're going to want to check your email. You'll then have a link to sign up as a pre-health shadowing volunteer. Once you do that, you'll be prompted to complete the pre-health shadowing volunteer training course. Once you do that, you will be able to sign up for as many volunteer projects as you like. You will notice that some projects are synchronous and some projects are asynchronous. This is completely up to you with whatever works best for your schedule. Asynchronous projects means you can complete them on your own time and on your own schedule, while synchronous projects means that you'll be working together with a group of individuals and have set times to meet and to collaborate on your initiative. Once you commit X number of hours, you'll be able to track that in the VolunteerCrowd app. You'll be able to add in your hours and have them verified with pre-health shadowing. Just as a disclaimer, for those folks who are interested in the shadowing program within pre-health shadowing, you are able to earn education hours. However, this does not count directly as volunteering hours, but will still be recognized by all programs and other jobs if you are interested in going into the healthcare field. Additionally, you'll be able to watch your transcript build up with all of the awards and badges and have your verified service transcript that is going to add credibility to your application. So as I mentioned before, there are various opportunities that you can pursue within pre-health shadowing. With this, there are different levels. And so if you're interested down here in asynchronous volunteer work, this means you'll be able to learn a skill and be able to commit and work on a project directly pursuing whatever you are interested in or whatever that project holds. And so, for example, we will see that if you are interested in website design, you'll be able to learn how to create a page on the website, and you'll be able to work with other members within the team. And you'll be able to output an entire page by the end of your experience. Next up, we have project volunteers. And so project volunteers are a part of our synchronous volunteering program, where you'll be able to meet with leadership team members and work on projects during a specific time, during meetings, and be able to accomplish a common goal amongst you and your team. Volunteer leads are individuals who are completely leading and managing projects. And so volunteer leads will coordinate all aspects of the project and be able to delegate out subtasks to a team of volunteers. So let's check out some examples of this. For example, one of our volunteer leads recruited a team of 17 volunteers to initiate a PHS podcast. This podcast is titled In the Cut, and we are really looking forward to starting the first episodes. Next, project volunteers. Project volunteers met with the chief team and assisted in planning a mentorship fundraiser that connected 20 students with 20 professionals and initiated a mentor-mentee relationship with all of these individuals. Asynchronous volunteers worked to promote Women's History Month professional panel that had over 100 students attend. And so by working together and working on their own time, students were able to promote this goal and to create the opportunity for others to participate in this initiative. We've worked with VolunteerCrowd for about a year now and can tell you how many students have built beautiful transcripts. Not only are they good proof of their achievements, but they also qualify them for awards, and they build them wonderful online transcripts. The best thing and the thing that I like the most about VolunteerCrowd is that it consolidates all of your experiences into one common place. Whether you are looking to apply to college, or you're looking to apply to a graduate program or medical school, or even a job, VolunteerCrowd can keep track of all of your various opportunities and ensure that they are properly documented and easy to follow so that your employer or admissions counselor is able to reflect on all of the great work that you've been able to accomplish during your time. So this is an example of what you can build, which can be included on any of your college applications, medical school applications, or even your LinkedIn profile. It gives you all of your experience credibility instantly. So you can track the total volunteering hours, the total number of organizations that you've been involved with, the total amount of time that you've been volunteering as a whole, as well as the average amount of time that you've participated. Additionally, you are able to achieve awards. And so you'll see at the very bottom here, you'll be able to see the various awards that you've been able to attain throughout your time. One of these awards is the Presidential Volunteer Service Award, which is a government award that both pre-health shadowing and VolunteerCrowd are able to provide to students who attain the goals. So now you are able to add credentials and badges to your transcript. What does this mean? This means that when you achieve a certain amount of hours within a certain bucket, shall we say, whether you're volunteering, you're working, or you're shadowing, and you attain a threshold, you will be granted a badge that you can then add to your transcript and even to your LinkedIn profile. This is a wonderful opportunity to continue building your resume and to showcase all of the amazing work that you've accomplished. After you volunteer or shadow, take advantage of all of the time that you've invested in building the relationship. VolunteerCrowd is the only platform that offers a letter of recommendation for your volunteer coordinators, internship supervisors, and shadowing mentors. Joining VolunteerCrowd helps you not only get great experience, but is also a way to showcase the experience to people who make important decisions about your future. To learn more about VolunteerCrowd, go to volunteercrowd.com and select Plans at the top of the page. NSHSS provided links at the beginning of the webinar. We're going to add those links again so that you can get contact details and more information. We also encourage you to put all of your questions in the chat, and VolunteerCrowd will reach out to you directly after this webinar. Alrighty, at this time, I'd like to welcome any questions that you may have. Feel free to go ahead and put them in the chat. While you guys are putting your questions into the chat, I'm going to go ahead and play a very quick video that further explains the process for VolunteerCrowd.
Hey, Nina, we can't hear it.
User education to make the world.
Thank you.
Can you hear it now? Okay, let me go ahead and restart it. Thank you so much.
Each transcript and portfolio is as unique as the individual and represents contributions to the student's favorite causes. Plus, it demonstrates a deeper interest in academics and offers a glimpse at how students will use their education to make the world a better place. But volunteering isn't only about helping others. It's also about students helping themselves. Volunteer work develops important soft skills like communication, collaboration, problem solving, and time management. These are skills students will need to be successful in college or in a career. Volunteer transcripts can be shared easily with university admissions departments and recruiters. And the hours spent volunteering can pay off big time when students earn annual awards, like the President's Volunteer Service Award, or qualify for scholarships. Together, we can help students see how when they help others, they can go far in life.
Awesome. Alrighty, so we'll go ahead into the Q&A portion. I invite anyone who has any questions at all to go ahead and utilize the Q&A function in Zoom. This can be found at the very bottom of your Zoom channel. I'll go ahead and get started with answering a few questions that we have. First question is, how long does the training take? And so the pre-health shadowing student volunteer training will not take very long. On average, students take approximately 1 to 3 hours to complete the volunteer training course. The volunteer training course can be completed in multiple sittings. However, it is highly encouraged that individuals complete it within the first week of signing up, as long periods of inactivity may lead to the dismissal from the program. Awesome. Thank you so much for your question, Sylvia. I see there is another question regarding the Presidential Volunteer Service Award. Is the Presidential Volunteer Service Award given to non-US citizens? To my knowledge, the Volunteer Award is granted only to US citizens at this time. However, this may be subject to change in the future. Does anybody have any additional questions? I'm happy to further discuss pre-health shadowing, any opportunities that we have within the organization, or any inquiries about starting a new project within the organization as well. So it looks like there's a question from Felix. Do people sign up on VolunteerCrowd or on the pre-health shadowing website? That is a great question. So you can go to the VolunteerCrowd website and find pre-health shadowing. Once you find pre-health shadowing, it will take you to the pre-health shadowing website and direct you to sign up through there. So you can go to the VolunteerCrowd website to commence that. We have another question from Isadora. Is there any kind of higher level education we need for volunteer work and certifications? That's a great question. So for pre-health shadowing, there are no prerequisites required for most of the volunteer projects. Volunteer projects are open to anyone who is interested and generally require no previous knowledge in the field for the volunteer. If you are interested in applying for a leadership role within the program, you may be requested to present past projects that you've worked on or present any previous knowledge or coursework that may supplement your application. Sylvia asked another great question. How long do projects take and how often do they start? Are there any age restrictions? So for projects, each project is unique in that there are different time spans, different outcomes for each project, and different start and end times. And so we have some projects that will last 1 week. We have some projects that have been going on for multiple months. And we have initiatives that are always starting and ending where students are able to jump in and jump out where their schedule allows. I hope that answers your question. Additionally, there are no age restrictions. Individuals just need to show commitment and dedication to the project that they are working on to remain on that project. course. Awesome. So I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the previous projects that members within the organization have created and have pursued. One member, Crystal, who is currently a first-year undergraduate student at Texas A&M University, started a project called the Caring Cards Project, where she coordinated over 50 individuals to write cards to elderly folks in nursing homes during the COVID-19 pandemic. This project was extremely successful, and they were able to send out over 100 cards to various individuals to bring up their morale during this really difficult time. Another project that I'd like to highlight is the Pre-Health Shadowing podcast. The Pre-Health Shadowing podcast was started by a student attending Dartmouth University and was able to recruit individuals and be able to not only interview and to secure those individuals, but also to create content and get ideas flowing and really get to tap into what students are interested in listening to. Awesome. So there is a question in the chat. Is there an internship of product engineering? How can I take leadership in project to sign up? So thank you so much, Jennifer. So there are opportunities for individuals to create projects. You are able to sign up by going to the website and registering as a volunteer. You will have to complete the Pre-Health Shadowing volunteer course before getting started with any project proposals. Once you take the Pre-Health Shadowing volunteer training course, within the course, it will go into detail of how you can commence your own projects. It will walk you through the materials needed for a project proposal and will get you in contact and give you any contact information if you have any questions for what to add or what needs to be included in the project proposal. You'll then be able to work alongside members of the leadership team to finalize your outline and to get it approved by the Pre-Health Shadowing board members. Upon doing that, you'll be able to commence your recruitment and process, which may involve interviews, and be able to get started on your specific project. When starting a project with Pre-Health Shadowing, you will have access to the plethora of resources, including any funding, any materials that are utilized. This could be platforms that could facilitate your project successes, and more. There is another question in the Q&A. Do we need to pay $39 a year to use VolunteerCrowd? So the $39 a year is the cost to get the subscription. So yes, if you are interested in obtaining the transcript, there is a small fee. As mentioned in the PowerPoint, this fee is generally the amount of 1 to potentially 2 tutoring sessions, and this would be for the entire year for access. Wonderful. I'd like to open it up to see if anybody has any additional questions at this time. I just want to say the questions that have been asked have been very amazing. Thank you to everybody who has submitted questions. And feel free, while I am here, feel free to ask away. While you guys are putting additional questions in the Q&A box, I'd like to talk a little bit more about our current situation within the organization. And so, as I mentioned previously, we have been founded a little over a year ago. We are currently on our 1st year and 4th month of starting Pre-Health Shadowing. And within that 1st year, we actually have impacted over 40,000 students worldwide. Because of that huge growth and the constant need for individuals to be helping out through this nonprofit organization, we are currently undergoing an intra-organizational structural transition. And this is really exciting because this opens up new opportunities for students just like you to gain leadership, resources, and access to mentorships and the opportunity to create brand new projects. Additionally, this gives everyone the opportunity to become a leader in a field that they are particularly passionate about. We have individuals that are currently leading our social media and marketing campaigns, individuals that are looking to go into healthcare and maybe look at public health and how we can impact the public community by utilizing marketing. And so while this may not translate directly into healthcare per se, it always can, because everything is so intertwined, and the nonprofit organization focuses on interdisciplinary approaches to solutions. Wonderful. I will go ahead and open up more opportunities if there's anybody else that has any questions. Alrighty, well, if there are no further questions, I would just like to thank everybody for joining today. Again, my name is Nina Bustamante Bernstein, and I am the founder and CEO of Pre-Health Shadowing. Additionally, I am a third-year undergraduate student at the University of California in Santa Barbara, currently on the pre-medical pathway and hoping to impact the pre-health students looking to go into the healthcare field. Thank you, everybody. If you are interested in getting in contact with us, you can shoot us an email at info@prehealthshadowing.com. Additionally, if you are interested in VolunteerCrowd and the programs that we have partnered with, I encourage you to leave a comment, and we will definitely get back to you via email as soon as possible. Thank you, everybody, and I hope you have a restful holiday break. Thank you again to the National Society of High School Scholars for hosting this event, and I hope to see you all very soon.
Thank you, everyone.